Maxwell, it's a big one this week. I tell you what.
The plot thickens, Sam.
It does. And the plot's in you. That sounded not as clean in the podcast form
Children
that it did in my head.
Sam.
Yeah. It is a big one this week. We caught up with Landon Tours from The Plot in You a couple of weeks back when they were here in Australia. And The Plot in You are turning into, I guess, one of the big players in the American scene, I feel.
I don't think I've seen so many people in my feed all at one show in such a long time.
3?
No, like heaps, 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
Must be nice to have 20 friends.
Bit of a peek behind the curtain. Some of my friends messaged me, and so they glimpsed you, Sam, sneaking out of the back of the Fortitude Music Hall after the interview.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
You did.
I did. I was like, after the show, yeah, I left halfway through. I had shit on. But yeah, we chat to Landon all about, I guess, the rise of The Plot in You, talk a little bit about, I guess, they played their biggest headline shows ever when they were out here in Australia. So we went at it from more of like an emotional angle. Like, what does that sort of do with feelings of accomplishment and pride, and like, can you believe it? Like the surrealism of touring and having your biggest shows back to back. So some cool little insights there. We talk about their upcoming tour in America, supporting Bring Me the Horizon. And then, yeah, we chat a little bit about Forgotten, which is the song everyone loves. So
here's to you, kicking that off.
Hooroo.
We're diving straight into this chat. Joining us backstage before their Brisbane show at the Fortitude Music Hall, Plot in You's vocalist Landon. Welcome to the show, mate.
Thank you so much. I'm stoked. Should be sick. I'm very excited.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yeah.
We start the show the same way every week, and that's just to get an idea of what you've been listening to lately.
Honestly, this tour, not much. We've honestly been just like so much travel and just like hanging out. Actually, embarrassingly, the only things I've been listening to are like the newer stuff I've been working on.
Yep.
Just making sure it sounds good on like AirPods and all that stuff. Kind of making sure I'm cool with everything, and a little bit of Billie Eilish on the way here. I was jamming. Yeah.
Yep.
I love all of her stuff. I'm a big stan, so yeah.
Are you one of those guys that, even though you play in the metal scene, you don't listen to a lot of metal music?
I do. I think now more than ever, actually, just because I work with a lot of bands in the scene too, produce a lot of bands and co-write with a lot of different bands. So I'm kind of keeping up to date with like trends and like, just like what people are doing with their mixing and like, different techniques and stuff like that. I try to stay on top of that, and obviously we have tons of friends in the scene too, so like anytime they put out new music, I always check it out just to support them and stuff. So yeah, I think I stay pretty active, in the realm. Yeah,
love it. Well, we were going to talk about it later in the show, but I might start the conversation now. Obviously, the production side of things is something you play in a lot. You've got your own side project going on, and Plot in You. We had Will Putney on the show last week.
Cool.
And one of the questions I had for him was, how does he maintain that creative balance without letting his influences blend into all these different projects? So how do you, when you're mixing so many different, I guess, sounds across projects, maintain that sort of creative pigeonhole?
Yeah, it can be difficult. I mean, I listen to a lot of pop music, and I think I draw a lot of inspiration from pop music and music that I grew up on. I think it's kind of impossible not to take away, little bits and pieces from different places. I think that's inevitable, but yeah, I just try to just keep it as authentic as I can. I'm constantly doing it. I'm constantly trying different things. So yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a little bit of a challenge, if I want to be like too derivative of anything else, but like at the same time, I don't put up like super strong barriers against like what I can explore and what I can't, so yeah, it's just an ever-changing, ever-growing experience and process. So yeah, it's just fun. I enjoy it. So yeah.
Just exploring stuff.
Yeah.
Is there ever a line, because obviously the Plot in You sound has evolved a lot through the years, and with your, solo stuff running parallel, is there ever ideas that come to mind where it is a little bit harder to dictate which project you put your work into?
Yeah, definitely. I can't even tell you how many solo songs that have turned into Plot songs, and vice versa. There's been plenty of songs that I kind of went into it with the mentality of like, I'm writing for plot, but then I'm like, this actually suits solo stuff more, you know? I mean, there really is no difference. They're the same thing. There's just a different brand on it.
Just a different name.
Yeah. So, I mean, I haven't been doing as much solo stuff the last couple of years just because we've been so active and, you know, so busy that I really haven't had time for it. Even in between tours, I'm usually co-writing or producing a different band or something. It also happens a lot with, like, I'll start writing something for plot or for my solo stuff, and then I end up giving it away to a different band. That's happened tons of times just because I'm like, I'll listen to, like, their demos and I'll, like, pitch an idea, and then I'm like, actually, I think the singer could do this way better or cooler than I could. That's happened tons of times, too. So, yeah, it's all the same shit. It's just different brand, you know?
Different brand, different name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, on the Plot and News tour, we've caught you just before it wraps up. And, you know, last night in Brisbane tonight, but I want to talk Melbourne. It's the biggest headline show Plot's ever played.
It's crazy.
I mean, talk me through the emotions of that, because from the outside, it looked unreal.
It was crazy. Like I was telling you before we started the interview, we originally it was going to be at the Forum in Melbourne. And they kind of were just like, hey, I think we should upgrade. And we're like, I don't think that should happen. We want to play this venue. And they're like, no, we're going to do this. And we're like, okay, we trust you. And it ended up being a good decision for sure. It was crazy. I rarely get like those moments where I'm like, holy shit, you know, about shows. You know, I've been doing it for almost 18 years now. So it's like, it's very rare that you have those moments, like what the fuck moments. But that was definitely one. I was just like, holy shit, this is actually insane. Like this feels like playing a festival or something like that, you know? So yeah, it was very humbling, very cool. I think it was one of those few shows too, where everyone got off stage and kind of had the exact same experience. Like, holy, like that was wild, you know? Yeah. Usually there's like one guy that was like, oh, my strap broke, or, you know, my in-ear mix was messed up. But yeah, everyone had kind of the same positive, awesome experience. So yeah, it was actually pretty beautiful. It's cool.
Hell yeah.
Can rarely say that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it kind of all starts to feel the same, sadly, but yeah, it was special.
Just happened.
Yeah, that's any job. Yeah.
Well, lyrically, I'm interested. Like your songs obviously explore a lot of personal themes that are incredibly sort of pertinent to you specifically, but the Plot's lyrics in particular connect really deeply with fans. What's it like on stage for you when you've got songs like Forgotten? You get to that big breakdown, and you know, I can assume that it's a really sort of emotional thing for you, but hearing the crowd sort of drown you out, what does that do for you as a performer?
It's crazy, especially at first when the song like first came out and we were like getting that reception. It was like, wow, this is like unlike any moment we've ever really had in a set. So yeah, it was really special. And I mean, shows like the Melbourne show, you know, where there's that many people, it's just like, I can't even wrap my head around it. Sometimes it's crazy, but yeah, I'm glad it's touched people. I'm glad it's resonated. You know, it's really cool when that happens, because sometimes you think something you put out will really resonate and you put everything into it and it's like, it doesn't really connect. Yeah. So it's really special when it does. And that, you know, luckily that was one of those songs that did. So yeah, it's awesome.
I love it. Well, pure strategy release for a second. Obviously you guys have done it a little bit different. There's a lot of talk at the moment with, you know, people's attention spans as listeners, whether albums are as big a deal as they were. You guys have sort of sporadically dropped singles over the last 5 years. We haven't seen an album since 2021, I think. Yeah. Has there been a direct strategy to that in sort of just dropping these singles? Somewhat,
yeah. I've been kind of advocating for it for a couple of years, even before we decided to do it, just because we tour so much. And like the last record was like a COVID record, so I had all the time in the world to put, you know, effort into it. But post that, I was just like, listen, we have all these big tour plans, like, will you allow me to explore this different way of doing things? And if it works, cool. If it doesn't, you know, we can go back to the drawing board. But I was like, I want to be able to spread it out. So it's almost like different eras of my life, you know, rather than trying to just like write 10, 12 songs in the matter of like 2 or 3 months. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to see what I can do over the span of a couple of years, you know, and it really give full attention to it when I feel like doing it, when I feel like inspired to do it rather than forcing myself. And yeah, it worked out really well. We're all really happy with how it turned out. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep doing things like that. Yeah. I personally would love to, but I mean, I think some fans think it's awesome and they really like it. So, you know, we have the few people that are like, oh, I want an album, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know. Maybe if I get like a year off, that could happen. But
give me a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, finally, I'm able to write on the road now because we're in buses and stuff. So I kind of allocate the back lounge to like it's basically my studio on tour. So it's getting easier to be able to be creative on the road and stuff. But yeah, we'll see if time allows for it. I would love to explore trying to do a record again, but we'll see. Yeah, time will tell, I guess.
That's it.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Look, before we let you go, after you wrap up this Australian tour, you're going on the road in the US to support Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah.
Obviously, the plot train can't be stopped, but I mean, some of these crowds are going to be mega. How keen are you for that?
Crazy. Yeah, I'm so stoked. We did the first leg of it last year, and it was just insane. Like just playing arenas, like metalcore being in arenas is insane. I can't believe I'm saying those two things in the same sentence. You know what I mean? No, it's really cool, and we're just so grateful they asked us to do it. Like it's insane. I'd been advocating for touring with them for years. Like you can go back to interviews like 10 years ago. I was talking about wanting to tour with them. So the fact that it actually happened is pretty special. Yeah.
Is there sort of trajectory in the way they've changed their sound over time influential in sort of the metalcore scene, either
absolutely
subconsciously? Is that something you've noticed?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think most people I've worked with and have toured with would give the same answer. It's like, yeah, they're just so inspiring what they've been able to do with their careers, even collaborating with like mainstream big artists like Ed Sheeran and stuff like that. It's like nobody ever thought something like that would be possible. So yeah, it's just really cool to see. It's again, very inspiring. I think they're just doing things that we never thought we'd see in this, this tiny little fringe realm that we're in, so it's really cool. I'm really stoked to get to do anything with them in any capacity. It's been awesome. Yeah,
love it. Well, if you are listening to this episode in Australia, too bad, so sad, you've missed the train on the pod and you, but make sure to catch them supporting Bring Me the Horizon through April and May in the US. Landon, thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.